I hope you guys are having a great start to your weekend or enjoying a nice Saturday. I am Danielle, and I am the owner of OrangePandaDesigns on Etsy, where I have Etsy shop where I sell handmade accessories and digital designs for women and girls. And welcome to my corner of the world. If you are new here, welcome. And if you've already been here, thanks for coming back. So if you are following along on my series, I am making a new Chrome bag or a new tote bag for my daughter's Chromebook for the school year. Because if you've seen in past videos, this is what she was working with by the end of the school year. It's amazing it survived. So I wanted to make her a sturdy one, and I kind of broke the video up into bite-sized pieces so that the videos weren't so long. So my first video is showing you how I quilted the lines for the tote bag. The next video is showing how I added the pockets and the lining. So I quilted all these lines in one of the videos, if you can see that. And then in the second video, my child is cleaning her room right now and using a vacuum, so I apologize if you hear that in the background. But I attached the pockets and the lining. So for today's video, what we're gonna do is add a zipper and straps. And I am following Melanie Ham's tutorial on making a simple tote bag. Is part of our So Long series where she shows you how to make various different items. And one of the first things that I've made was a zipper pouch for my daughter and for all of her friends, maybe like when they were 3 or 4 years old. So I have followed a lot of her sewing videos. She's really great at what she does. So this is basically my spin on her video, because I have made the tote bag originally for myself for work, and I followed it exactly the way that she had mentioned to follow it. If you know anything about me, I like to follow the rules, but sometimes when I get comfy, I like to tweak it to make it my own. So her tote bag does not call for a zipper. I'm adding a zipper, and her tote bag calls for straps, but I'm gonna just give her handle straps. And for hers, for her video, you can just use regular straps like these, or you can just use fabric straps. And I think that that's what I did last time, and I just made them my own version. And what I'm gonna do for my daughters is use this for the inner part of the strap, and also put fabric around it just to make it extra tough, because as you can see, I've already sewn this a few times. My child is strong. So that's what we're gonna do. So come along and follow along. This really isn't like a tutorial per se, it's just I needed to make a bag for her. I thought I would take you guys along for the ride to show you how I do it. And if you want to follow along for deeper instructions, definitely use Melanie's video. I will definitely link it in the description, but also put it at the top of this video so you can just click on it and it will take you right there. Okay, so what we're gonna do first is do the straps. And when I was thinking if I had webbing, because I did previously buy webbing because I made my dog's new dog collars, and I previously did buy webbing for that purchase, and then I couldn't find it, and then I found it. But anyway, in the midst of looking for those, I also came across these that I had purchased probably randomly online like a couple years ago. What I'm gonna do is basically I'm gonna need 1 inch to go under and 1 inch, like I want an extra 2 inches on each side of the straps. My webbing 8 inches with adding 2 inches for each side, so that will be 12. So I am going to cut my webbing 12 inches, and I should have enough so I can get 2 out of here. So let's measure this. That's 12 inches. And then, and like I said, it doesn't matter the color because I'm going to cover it anyway. And the great thing about this bag, because what I have mentioned previously in my other videos, is that everything I pretty much had except for the zipper, which I purchased, and I bought some more interfacing just to make my pieces stiffer when I make them. So I'm going to use, since this is the main piece for fabric, I'm going to use this for the handles and for the zipper. I just thought it would look cuter that way, just to have it all look the same, because the inside, if you remember, the inside just has that interesting, like I always think it's interesting when one bag is basically the same padding on the inside, but when you open it up, it's totally different on the inside. I really like that layout. So that's what I want to give her. So just make it uniform on the outside, but have it be a mix on the inside. So let me see what smaller pieces I have to work with. And this looks like a good chunk. So what I'm going to do, and I already figured I want to make my straps, since I'm going to cover this, I want to make them 4 inches. 4 inches wide by 12. So let me fold this in half. And cut off to trim it up to make it even, so I have a clean space to work with. So let's see, or a clean edge, a straight edge to work with. So let me trim this up. That is going to be all of, I might have to trim that some more. Yeah, because that's not exactly as perfect as it should have been. So let me, tell you, working with a small space, it's like, and I was going to clean off the other side of my table so I could do this, but I had wanted to get this done earlier in the day, and we had started with errands, and then just the day got away from me, and I was like, okay, I gotta get this done. So I need to cut 2 of these by 12. So, and then I already, okay, so let me cut, so I want 4 inches wide, so that did not. And then we can use this remaining part for the zipper. So what we're gonna do is trim this down to 12 inches wide. And what I'm going to do is just trim this up. Need these other rotary cutters. I have a rotary cutter for paper, a rotary cutter for fabric, a rotary cutter for vinyl. I got all my bases covered, so but I just like to have them around in case I need them. But I did obviously don't need them for this project. So here's 12. And as I've said previously, all the scraps I have will be kept because you never know when you might need a raw piece of fabric for whatever. So I like to keep every little nook and cranny of fabric that I can. And the same with paper, the same with vinyl. Just, you never know how much or how little you might need something. So, okay, perfect. All right. So what I'm going to do, I was thinking that I might put interfacing on this to make it thicker, but to be honest, because this fabric is more like home decor fabric, it's already stiff enough as it is. So, and oh, I didn't cut this one down to 12. Hold on one sec. Let me just trim this one down to 12. Is that the right? I feel like that was not the right one, the right side. Nope. I'm sure you guys can tell me which side is the right side that I should be using. Yeah, this one's it. This is perfect. Okay. So, okay. So like I was saying, I could put the interfacing on here, but it's already gonna be thick, and I don't want to do that. So, but you know what? For my sanity purpose and stuff, I think I will. So let me cut out some interfacing as soon as I can find some. That is 4 by 12 for 2 pieces. Interfacing. That's gonna be 1 piece. And seeing that's why I wanted to buy interfacing at the store yesterday, so that I knew that I had more. One sec. This might. Okay, so this is how I do my straps. Now, I think with sewing, what is so great is that there's a way that you can learn to do things, and once you conquer that thing and you figure out how it works for you to do it better for yourself, you do it that way, and it's great. Like, yes, you can follow the rules, but sometimes you can make up your own rules as you go. So this is how I make my straps. So basically that 4-inch piece of fabric that we had, what I did was I folded this in half initially, so it was just like that, and then I ironed one part of it into the center, another part into the center, and then fold it over, because what I'm going to do, and as you can see this isn't perfectly aligned and I'm going to fix that, but what I'm going to do right now is my strap will just sit right in there, and I'm going to keep my strap to the inside. So it's a little thick, but like I said, I've got I'm going to call her Bam Bam for our daughter, so we can handle a little bit of thickness, because basically what I'm going to do is sew each end down. So and then you have your one strap, and then same thing for the next one. And you always want this on the inside, you don't want it right here, because obviously you'll be able to see it. So you always want to hide that piece. And just to hide it, you just do it to the first fold. And it's okay if it's not aligned perfectly, because when you do this piece is how you're going to get it aligned the right way. So you can tell that that looks pretty thick, and it is, but once I'm going to take this over my iron and iron it out before I sew it, but I'm going to press it, and then I will meet you back over at my sewing machine so that we can sew along the edges on these. So like I said, I'm going to sew along each of the long edge as close to the edge as I can. So I am using my foot that has all the different measurements on it, and I'm going to choose this one that's closest to the edge right there. So actually, yeah, so line up. Yeah, sorry, I'm going to line up with this one, which is not the quarter. It might be like the 1/8. And I want to get this as close to my edge as I can. And since this, okay, there we go. And I'm just going to sew it. I did not reverse stitch in the beginning. I should have, because I was thinking I was going to top stitch this, and usually when you top stitch, your stitch width is a little bit wider, but at the last minute I just decided to do a regular stitch on it. So with the interfacing, the type of this material, and the webbing, these straps are thick. They are good to go. So I'm just going to sew up the other one, and then we will move on to the next step. Okay, so I have my straps. I sewed down on the sides for each piece, and if I was to not add the zipper, this is where I could start adding the straps in. But since I am going to add the zipper, I am going to do the zipper before we add the straps. So, like I said, I purchased a zipper, I think last week, before I went out of town, I believe. And I got, so this is measured about, I think 20 inches, I believe. So, oops, sorry, yeah, sorry about that, you guys. This is measured 20 inches. Okay, so this is measured 20 inches wide, and I got her zipper that was 14 inches wide. When I look at her bag from last year, it definitely fit in there securely. But hers also went through on the sides, so this is actually going to do a really good job with it. Why is my light? Okay, that was weird. That was really weird. Okay, sorry. So yeah, so I got a 14-inch zipper, and what I want to do, if you are familiar with adding zippers, you know what I'm going to do is add an edge to the zipper and then slip it underneath this edge. And this edge alone is about 1 inch, and which is basically the width of the zipper. So I 4 pieces of more of this fabric. I'm going to cut it. Let's see. I'm going to cut it. I can cut it the width of the zipper, and that way everything will be nice and even and tight. And something I did think about the other day is that my ends, because I don't want my ends to stick out, because this zipper, when I sew the edges of the zipper, normally when you do a zipper like in a zipper pouch, when you sew the edges, the zipper will go within that seam. But because I'm not going to do that, it's going to hang out, and I don't want it to look like that. I'm going to cut this 2 inches by 16.5. So it's amazing how much math you have to do for for sewing. And math was my strong suit in school, It really was. I think when I got to geometry and like calculus, I was out. My brain was like, yeah, I'm maxed out on my ability to think of shapes and the measurements and the radius and all that stuff, which I know is very important, but my brain was, I was tapped out. Okay, so trying to find my little pieces. Okay, so I want to cut 4 pieces for the zipper, so 4 by 16.5, because if you all know, this would be perfect, yes, because when you do a zipper, you have to do the 2 pieces together, and I'm also going to add interfacing to these pieces as well, because a little extra, which is going to make it a little bit thicker when I'm sewing it, but I will appreciate later. And the day she comes home, I gotta go blow my nose. I apologize. But like I said, the day she comes home and she's like, Mommy, I broke my zipper. I may have. I may be a little bit annoyed since I'm taking all the precautions to not have that happen. Why am I not? Let me just move this a little bit over. Sorry guys, I have to move you just a tad bit over. Oh boy. I swear I'm trying to have this in the center. I'm hoping that you can still, yeah, see this. And as you can see, when I cut off, when I trim the edges, I like to take as little as possible because you don't want to waste fabric. At least I don't. Okay. my 4 strips for my zipper. And what I'm going to do, you can probably guess it, is get some interfacing so that I can add it to my zipper. So I have my 4 pieces of the fabric, and I have my 4 pieces of interfacing. So you can guess what I'm going to do. I'm going to iron these to these, and then we will pin it to our zipper and sew it to the zipper. So let me iron these and I will get back with you guys. Okay, so I applied the interfacing to the fabric and I folded it over on the edges because I just wanted this to not stick out. I don't know if my idea is going to work as I thought that it would, but we will see. So let's see. So now what I want to do the zipper, and if you've never sewn a zipper before, it's not as scary as it is, as they make it out to be. I know it can be, but it's not as scary. So let's do, the only thing that you want to make sure, because something that I always, even for myself, let's see. So I always want to match it up to the edge of your fabric. So, and you always want it to be the wrong sides. So you have one like that, and then put one like this, so it's basically sandwiched in. So you have your zipper in the middle between the 2 fabrics with the right sides together. I wanted to say wrong sides, but you want the right sides together, and I want this to be kind of, sorry, and I'm going to use pins for this piece. You want your edges to be as aligned as possible. Okay, and so then this. So since with the zipper, what I'm going to do is start stitching here to the edge, and then I'm going to move the zipper down and then stitch for the top after that. But let's do this, and then once we do this side, I will press it out. I'm sorry I'm not showing my iron for this part of it, but I'll show you what I'm doing. It's a lot of moving parts. So but I will show you. I'm gonna iron along the seam, just match it up with the foot of my zipper foot, and then I will press it out and I will come back to you when I am done with that. I stitch up one side of the zipper with the fabric, and see at the ends what I had kind of wanted to do was, because it's going to stick out, I wanted that folded over so I can just sew that down. So that's why I wanted the edges like that. So basically what I'm going to do is attach the other side, get that nice little crisp crease. I don't know about you, but I love a good crease. Oops. When it comes to sewing lines, like, yes, I just love a good crisp edge. So I'm going to attach these 2, and then I will sew up the edges, and then we are almost done with this video. Okay, so I did it. So here's my zipper for her tote bag. So see the edges, it's not exactly as I wanted it, but because I knew that the raw edges were going to stick out, I want to tuck it in. Like I said, it's not exactly as I wanted. It's not perfect, but it will do. But I think if it does come loose, I can always stitch like a piece of fabric on either ends. And I'm wondering if I should do that anyway. I'm wondering. But you know what? Right now, I think it's fine the way it is. So, so here it is. So now that we have that and we have our straps, now we can attach to the overhang, or to the hem, basically. Because what we want to do is, before we sew the outer edges of the bag, we want to get all of this stuff in place first. So what I'm going to do is, let's see, this will be the front, yes. So basically, let me fold this in half so I can figure out where my half point is. Which basically, if this is 20, it would be 10. Showing low batteries. I'm hoping I have enough to make it. Okay, so basically, so that's 10. So I'm going to fold this in half, put this in there, and basically what I'm going to do is slip this underneath. See? Not bad if I do say so myself. And then do the straps. And I'm trying to first, because I cannot do the other side till this is sewn, because this has to attach to the other side. I didn't think about that. So let me also make sure that my straps, I think I got distracted. So that's about, yeah, semi-8 to about there. That's semi-8 too. So as long as the handles are the same on the other side, we should be good. And oh, this makes me nervous because this is a lot of material to sew through. So I realized as I was sewing, my phone was dying it was down to 13%, and then when I got done it was down to 1%. So then I had to run down and go get my cord, because this was a cord I brought with me on my trip and I just haven't brought it back up to my room. So I finished this piece by myself. I still need to do the other half, but because of all the interfacing, because of all the thickness, I will say where the thickness of the bottom of the handles, my sewing machine was not liking me. I was like, please don't die, please don't die, please don't break a needle, and it did not break a needle. Thank you. But I might have to hand stitch over this part for it. I was able to do, because basically what you do is you sew a line at the bottom, and then you sew on the other side. You sew a line at the bottom again, and then a line at the top, just to reinforce those stitches. And I think it's good, but I just wasn't able to get that bottom stitch over the handles. I was able to get over everything else, but just not the handles. And this is the thickest part of my sewing. So like I said, I'll finish this other part off screen, and then the next part that we'll do is just finish up the bag. And I'm hoping that this idea comes together as I thought it would. I think it's going to, but it makes me a little bit nervous. But so here's my zipper, here's my handle. Not bad, if I do say so myself. Tried to make it as centered as I could be with it. I feel like it's not as centered, or I'm not as centered. I don't know, it just, to me, it looks a little bit off-centered. But I figure if I make the handles match the same way, everything should be fine. So that's it. So thank you for hanging out with me. If you enjoy this video, please give it a like. If you want to see something else, definitely let me know. I'm definitely, if you've been on my channel, I'm definitely sharing lots of different things. It's mostly crafty, but also with, I just shared yesterday one about me trying a new fingernail polish remover, because I do think nails look better when you're doing YouTube. And not that I had bad nails, but I like having them done. So I just shared that. So if you know, whatever you want to see, just let me know and I'll see about adding it to my channel. And yet again, thanks again for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye!